following program contains disturbing materials that may not be suitable for some resellers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is John with Flippin' Ain't Easy, and I'm out here in my garage. I ran a few errands today, picked up some stuff that I have to go in and manually take off the rack and load into my car. And then the other places, we have a couple places where you just pull up and you ordered it, they just deliver it out to your car. So after shipping was done, Jenna ran over there. That's where she is right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work a little bit. I'm going to go through and just check, make sure that the items that I have are complete, that I picked up today, they're complete. And then once I'm done recording here, I'll go in and do the photos. So I get everything inspected. That's part of my process. Make sure all the parts are there for the things that I bought. And listings are already created, so I just need to add the photos and the weight and the location and all that good stuff. So I will be working while I do this, so I apologize for any noise or whatever, but kind of the new format. I want to do it at least once a week. Now, for those of you who are watching, we have a members only live today at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm going to go in and just dive in. We do have one volunteer that reached out and said, hey, take a look at my store. So we're going to do that. And we're going to go in and just, try to give some constructive criticism collectively, not just me, but we're going to have the members in the chat also. And I think it's a good way to sort of brainstorm and learn. Ask questions. Maybe you don't want to ask questions because you feel like there's so many people watching on the live. You don't want to be that guy or gal, and that's why I like the format we have, the roundtable session that we have twice a month. If you're a member, $2.99. So it's not a whole lot. We don't make a killing off of it, but it does weed out the serious people from the unserious people, in that most unserious people aren't going to spend $2.99. That's just the way it is. So I got some of this cabling. This is some optical communications cabling, and this one is brand spanking new. I mean, spanking new. I love it, and has little accessories and stuff with it. So yeah, these, I think I picked this up for, was it $5? And I can sell this for $169.99 free shipping. I think I'm going to go that route. I think I'm going to go $149.99 free shipping, because I'm not trying to get too greedy with it, but I do want to get it sold. So that's a real good one. So yeah, that's what we do. We do that. We try to do it once a month. Sometimes we do it twice a month, and then of course we have little extra bonus content that we throw out there for the masses that we don't really want to share with the world, if that makes sense. Like our trip that we took. I'm still on the fence about releasing that video to everyone, because it's a reselling channel, and who cares about John and Jenna's trip to South Carolina. So for me, I'm still on the fence, but at some point it's going to be just too old to release it. So I may never release it. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're doing the members only live, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern. And then sometime tonight, I am doing a follow-up, part 2 of the video that we had, where I'm jumping into my account and I'm kind of deep diving into the numbers. And of course, I'm just some guy who sells in my garage, but with the help of a program like Grok, we can really get into the meat and potatoes of what I need to do, best practices, what the stats mean. Do my loss of impressions help or hurt me, or do they not matter at all? Which I've been losing impressions, I've been losing views, but my sales are still pretty strong. Here's something. Wait. Oh, there he is. I have this box. It's a key drop. So you put your keys in there, and then close it, and the keys drop in the box, and then you have a master key. I was thinking, wait, I don't have any key, but it's right there. So make sure that it works. So right now, again, I'm staging. This box has a little ding in it, so you can see here, it does have a little ding right there. I'll make sure to include that in the listing. That's a good, probably a good reason why it was returned, is because of a lot of times people get something, they buy it, they're paying full price, and they're like, no, this is dinged. I'm not paying full price for a ding. I was on Amazon and we bought one of those beds. This is like a year and a half, 2 years ago. Bought one of those beds that move up at the head and the legs. They move up. You can kind of customize it however you want. And it came with, there's a rip in the, it has like a fabric cover. And there's like a little rip. And contacted Amazon. I said, look, I didn't buy this to be ripped. So looks like it may have been caused in shipping and all that, but what are you gonna, what do you want to do? Can we exchange it? Can we do? They said if you want to, well, you can exchange it, you can refund it, or we'll give you like $150 back if you want to keep it, because I guess the shipping on that is pretty high. We paid like $800 for it. So I said, well, I'll make the rip work, because I mean the mattress is going to go on top of that anyway. It wasn't a huge rip, and so we made it work. The power of the partial refund. I know a lot of people are going to be mad at me for mentioning that, but you know what? It's a tool we have at our disposal. It's not one the buyer should ever, I think, implement or suggest, because a lot of times you're dealing with people who are scammy when that happens. But yeah, I think your buyer reaches out. They said, "Hey, this thing was damaged." I had one. I had that. I think I mentioned it on the live, where I had this iron. It's a Rowenta iron. It's like a steam station. It has a big old thing. It has an iron, but it's connected to this water tank, and it was in great shape. We shipped it. I don't know how it got damaged, but she reached out and said, "Hey, this thing is damaged." She sent us some photos, and there's a ding on the side of the sole plate of the iron, kind of dented in, and I'm like, wow, I don't know how the hell that happened. Now she said, look, I like this iron, but it's not in the condition that you had advertised. Do you have another one to send? No, this is the only one we have. She said, well, I might have to return it. Let me know. We do 30-day returns. I said, if you're able to use it, I'll be glad to throw you like $30 back. She paid like 120 or whatever. And nothing. I heard nothing. I heard nothing back from her for like 2 weeks, and then she replied back, "I think I'm going to keep it. I can make it work." Now this is during the live. I didn't get a chance to reply right away, and an hour went by, and she said, "Hey, you had mentioned you'd give me some of my money back if I kept it." And after the live, I replied back and gave her money back. So all's well. Don't have to worry about that. And I don't think the buyer wants to. Buyers don't want to return stuff. Look, it's a step they have to take. They have to repackage everything back. eBay requires the buyer to put the item back in the packaging that they receive. They're supposed to send it back that way. You're entitled to receive everything back as a seller that you send to them. And it's a pain. People would rather just deal with whatever than to have to deal with the return, and I'm happy with that. So here's a thought that I had yesterday. With the incoming AI, and those of you who are irritated at my AI talk, I apologize. I'm not going to really do a lot of that here, but this is not really an AI discussion. This is just to give you one example of why I think it's important. Let's not get lost. If you decide to use these listers that are coming, that have the ability to make your listing 5 to 10x times the amount that you're currently listing, let's not get caught up in the amount of items that we're listing to our account. I think if I can influence anything, it is the change of mindset in let's start looking at how much money we're putting into our account. How much value are you adding to your account? And I'm not gonna get off in the weeds about ASP and all that, but I think if we get focused on the sheer numbers, and these are some drawer slides that I picked up, 6-pack for $3. They normally sell for like 100. But if we get caught up in the number of items, I think it's going to cause us to list more items, right? But we're going to cheat. And I say cheat in that, say you're at a $30 ASP, okay? And you start focusing on the smaller items. Oh, I can get all these listed. And you will increase the size of your store, but you will drop the ASP. And, you know, instead of looking at the number of items, look at the total dollar amount that you have in your store that's listed. I think that's critical. Oh, boy. So this one here, check this out. So these drawer slides, some of these little clips, right? But I found a broken part, which means it's going to render one of the 6 useless. I've got to figure out which one was broken and what part this is. So this is where we play private investigator, and we're trying to figure out what in the hell broke on these things. So I think this is why they trained us as kids to play the match game, so we can identify, you know, a group of similar items and try to figure out which one is which one's broken, which one isn't. And I think I have an idea of what part. Yep, I found it. So here it is. This part right here, see the jagged edge piece right there? So some people would consider gluing this. I guess I could and see what the, you know, I don't know. What do you guys think? I could put that right there, super glue it in there, and I don't know if that would, to me, I think I'm going to sell this as a 5-pack. A 5-pack of these slides without the broken part. And yeah, I don't want to have them receive this and then they're like installing it and this thing breaks off and they're like, what the hell? He glued this thing. And then, you know, over what, a $5 to $10 difference in price. I'll make this a 5-pack because it's obvious what happened here. You have one that has no plastic on it. I don't know much about it. And you've got a 5-pack that the 5 are all individually packaged. And I think that is the way we will proceed on that. And just take a little bit less. I'm into this one for $3.25 for this whole thing. So I think I can just take the 5 in there and sell it that way. Maybe sell it for 40 or 50 bucks plus shipping. So my focus is on, yes, we're trying to grow the store, and sometimes we're looking at the number of items in the store. And I guess you look at that because eBay will charge you based on the number of items in the store, not the amount that's in the store, for your fees, right? So if you have a store that's under 1,000, you can get away with less fees, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I have a lot less than 1,000 in the main, and I'm maximizing my listing price, my ASP, and making that work. That makes sense. And if anything I say doesn't make sense, comment down below. Let me know. Feel free to ask questions. I don't have all the answers, but at least I can try to tell you what the hell I'm talking about. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going through right now, and because I don't yet have, and I'm going to figure that out. And again, thank you to all those who have volunteered to help me with it. but I'm going to figure out that where I'm going to have a another camera set up to record this while I do my photos and all that stuff, which I don't have quite yet. So yeah, that's it's a shame to waste this slide, but this part's broken. I just can't. So yeah, I just think that it's a mentality. We got to break that mentality of, oh, I listed 100 today, and this new tool, as great as it could be, and I haven't touched it yet, so I can't vouch for how great the tools are going to be, at least for my business. But as great as these tools are going to be, I think it's going to even it's going to be harder to change that mentality of, instead of how much have I listed, how many items did I list today, versus how much money did I place in my account. So you might have a day, like in my case, I might have a day where I pick up a $1,500 item. I list that item. Now, I guess I could just take the rest of the day off. You can, and you've met my goal is 750 to 1,000 day in listed product. So I guess I could take that day, the rest of the day off, right? But there's going to come a time where I might have 20 items and I don't have the time to get those 20 items listed, and they're only $50 a piece, right? So I might only get $600 listed. I think you want to look at it as, how much value am I putting into my store? Because eBay doesn't pay us in items listed. So you can just kill it with these new tools and the number of items you're listing, but it's still a value-based business where you're getting paid on the value of the item, if that makes sense, not the amount of items you have listed. So if you have $30,000 worth of merchandise listed in your store, well, this is my bubble maker machine, by the way, doing its thing. Got the bubbles going. See that? Yeah. So it's a different mindset, and I just want you guys to maybe, heck, do what you want to do. That's what I'm saying. I don't, look, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to offer you a different idea on how to look at your business. Because if you look at Walmart, look at Target, look at the big box stores, right? They don't come out and say, yeah, we exceeded the number of items that we sold in our store this year. They don't. eBay, when they are sharing this information with their shareholders, they're not saying, look, guys, we had all these items listed, and they're probably going to see an increase in items once these tools fully roll out. But it's not that the shareholders care about. It's, what does the revenue look like? I don't care how many items you sell on your platform. As a shareholder, how much money did you make? Are the earnings up to par? And that's what I think we need to be focused on as well, if we have the business mindset. Now, if you have a hobbyist mindset, the money doesn't matter to you, I got to tell you, I am fully in this mode of making this work. And I tell you why. I don't just do eBay all the time. Those of you who watch my channel will know that there's some side businesses I really don't talk about that aren't really happening right now. And it's like 2 months, where I'm just not, the business ain't there. Just for a variety of factors. It has nothing to do with me. It's just the way the businesses that I've been working with are operating, and they're dealing with a lull. And I received a call from PayPal, because I use PayPal for those businesses, and they're like, yeah, we see that you're not doing the same amount of business. I said, well, you're right, but right now I don't know when we're going to resume, but right now it's kind of a lull, and it's taking a big hit out of my bottom line, to where, yeah, YouTube will pay me $600 in a month, for these videos. Not a lot. It's not a lot, guys. I'm just trying to tell you right now. My channel's not big enough, and I'm not aspiring to be, you know, like a 200, 300,000 subscriber channel where I'm making, you know, and it's not even based on subscribers, it's based on the number of views. I'm not trying to kill it. I'm just trying to supplement my income, just make it as a you know, secondary income source. Like I've been trying to put multiple things, multiple eggs in different baskets. So that is really put the pressure on me to focus on getting more listed, more done. The secondary store is getting better. Just I have so much stuff, guys, and that's by design. I'm not going to sit here and complain. You can't say, look, I'm going to gear up for Q4 and have all this extra product, and then say, oh no, I just have too much to deal with. It's, you know, it's a problem. It's not a problem. It is part of my current situation that I'm going to be dealing with. Now, oh, real quick, this is an oven. This is that goes in the bottom of your oven. It's for a Frigidaire, and looks like they, I don't know. I don't think it's used. I think it's one of those where it does not. There's some sticker residue on here. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to get off. I need to get the goof off, I think. I only reserve the goof off when it's really bad. But just a multi-purpose, totally awesome Dollar Tree cleaner. Does the job for the most part. So it's all about presentation, you know. So you want to get your items, make sure they work. Don't clean your items before you test them. That was the one big mistake I was always making when I first started this liquidation. Get the item, you're like, oh man, that's dirty, but it looks really nice. Let's clean this up a little bit. Let's make it presentable. And then you fire it up and the thing doesn't work. It doesn't even fire up. Something's wrong with it. Hold on real quick. So you guys could still hear me, I think. So that's number one mistake I think most people make. Just get the item home, we start cleaning it without going through all the steps. Step one should always be testing. And of course you're observing. If it's that bad to where, wow, this thing's going to be a hot mess, it ain't even worth testing, then of course don't mess with it. So I don't know why I'm packaging it up yet with bubble, because I have to get photos done. My mindset is more on making this video right now than the task at home. So it's okay. I've got a few more of these to check. So far, so good. This Electrolux, it's an authentic Electrolux Frigidaire bottom cover for an oven. And I think I paid $3.25. Very good. I'll make about 60 on that. This is my life. This is what I do. So here's a couple golf cart covers, and these are what I'm kind of concerned about here, because you hear that? You hear that, right? We have loose parts, and being that this is a customer return unit, this is how it was shipped, and we're talking, it's not glass. So the golf cart windshield is what this is. It's not glass. It's a polycarbonate plastic film or plastic deal. I'm more worried about it being scratched. So let's see what I'm going to find here. Oh, hold on. When this happens, that means I got to get down here. Sorry about that. Uh-oh. Nobody was harmed in the filming of this content. Okay, just trying to tell you, this is just a raw footage that I'm doing the best that I can. Now the thing wants to follow me around my gimbal, so I'm trying to tell it to stop. I went down to pick this part up that fell, and the box came flying down onto the gimbal. So what can you do? This is kind of like, I'm kind of falling into the bearded picker territory where his videos are coming off. Now, here's the good thing. I have this film. This is a clear tint. Yeah, it's clear tint, but it has the new film. So it may have been they bought it, it didn't fit their golf cart, and they returned it. So this is certainly open box because it's never been installed. Good stuff. Now, my only concern is I have, I've got a mess over here, that's for sure. My only concern is I have parts that are flying around in this box. As you can see there, more parts flying around. And I don't know if I'm missing parts. I heard something fall. Could have been it too. So hopefully I have all the parts. If I don't have all the parts, oh, there goes a nut. I caught a nut. This is not promising. Oh, I hear screws. That's a washer. This is not promising. Why do people do this? They throw their crap. They throw the crap in the box like it doesn't matter to them. These are returns, right? So they're like, screw it. I don't care. But why do I care? It's not mine. It's a messed up mindset. So I guess, see, this one also is $3.25. I guess I'm going to be looking for parts because this, I don't know, there's a bushing. There's some nuts here and a bolt. But I need one more bolt. So this one might be one that I sell incomplete because, see, the bushings are going to be the one that's hard to replace. Not so much the bolt, because I have two of these with a closed-in nut on the back, on the end, but I don't have but one bolt. So in this case, I'm going to have to sell it as incomplete. I can't. I've never had to do that before. I don't know if it's even going to be sellable, but at $3.25, this one I can't take back. So, who knows? I'll put that aside for when I get to that one. What a bummer. What a bummer. Those are there. I could go to the hardware store and get the other bolt, but I don't have this other bushing. It has the manual. Maybe it's somewhere around here because it did go flying around. Things did go falling. So I'll give it a good look here too. It's supposed to come with 2 bolts. This is what you got to make sure everything's here. Doesn't say anything about the bushing though. What is this? Maybe I don't need it. Maybe this came from their cart. Maybe I can go and get another bolt. Sometimes you have to make your set complete, and that's probably what I'm going to have to go do. Because we're talking about a difference. I probably wouldn't be able to sell this for more than $20 plus shipping without it. I could get about 40 or 50 plus shipping, which is not all that expensive. But so that I can avoid this from happening again, I'm going to do what the buyer should have done. Also, maybe get another flat washer. I think I have flat washers here, but I don't think I have bolts. So I can try to mess with that here a little later. Also, I have only one of these. These are the clips that clip the glass onto the cart. So I don't know. This thing's incomplete. I may not even bother with getting another bolt because of it. Very disappointing. But I have to place these back in here the way I found it because I'm not messing with it. All right. So, one more item here before we go I'll take a look at. It's another golf cart cover. And I have an absolute effing mess in here, by the way. I have items that either need to be parted out or need to be tossed out today. We have large item pickup every 2 weeks, Thursday morning. So when you're watching this, it's large item pickup day. I have a 36-inch sink that had a crack in it. I didn't know it had a crack in it. That needs to go in the trash, and that's going to go in the trash. Thankfully, they'll pick up anything like under a small couch in size. So, thankfully, I can do that with this. Now, here's another golf cart cover, or golf cart windshield. As you can see, that's the film on it, which is great. No clacking going around in the box, which means what I like to see, what I'm used to seeing. All the parts are in here in this plastic, along with instructions. So 1 out of 2, again, $3.25. So I will definitely be able to make something on this one. The other one, I'll get my money back. I'm not worried about that. Certainly someone will buy it because they need the windshield piece. Maybe they have the existing for their old windshield, and maybe I'll sell it that way. Maybe I'll sell it just for the windshield itself, no hardware, so that they can replace their old one. So guys, that's kind of what I've done here. I've gone through the parts that I now have to photo, and I'll get those listed here today. And as you can see, my processes, the things that I sell, are much more involved in all the processes than if I had a shirt or a bin of clothes. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't get caught up in the numbers. How many items have I listed versus how much value am I going to put in my store? So the 7 items that I have here that I've gone through are going to add somewhere around, I'd say, $5.50 by the time it's all said and done into my store because of the shipping. Shipping is calculated into my price, and so after the calculated shipping, and that's in your numbers too, with your solds. So you may have sold $500 today, but how much of that was earmarked for shipping? That's also in the numbers and something that you want to consider. So guys, join me today, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, for the members only live stream. If you can, go down and join up. We'd love to have you. And stay tuned for the second installment of where I do a deep dive with AI into my own account to try to make heads and tails of what the hell eBay wants us to do to be profitable. So with that said, guys, working out here in this hot garage, well, yet it's another sign of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your day, and we will talk to you here very soon. Take care.